Coming up next on HBC TV 25, Spirit of the Heartland with Joyce Woodworth, brought to you by Winona Health, a friend for life, and by Merchants National Bank, with real local ties.
Winona Health, your community healthcare provider. Taking care of your family. Our highly trained professionals offer exceptional healthcare services close to home.
We're going to take some pictures of your knee today.
From diagnostic services to inpatient and outpatient hospital care.
Hi, I'm Dr. Brokhammer. What are we going
to senior housing and home care. Winona Health, a friend for life.
What is banking all about? It's about him, her, them. It's about managing today's challenges and planning for tomorrow's opportunities. It's having someone there when you need them, a trusted resource, a partner, a bank that knows you, not as a number or an account, but as a friend. Far from ordinary, right at home. That's Merchants Bank.
Hello, I'm Joyce Woodworth. Welcome to the Spirit of the Heartland. Today we're actually going to travel to Greece with our Greek chef, Gary Diamandis, and he's going to teach us some Greek cooking and some typical recipes from Greece. Hi, Gary.
Hey, Joyce. How you doing?
I'm doing great.
Good.
Welcome to the Spirit of the Heartland.
Pleasure being here.
And you're going to bring us some Greek recipes to our heartland.
Right.
What is a typical dinner in Greece?
Usually, and they eat very late at night, too. So
Oh.
a lot of times it's the big meals during the day,
Mm-hmm.
and they'll do light meal. Or if they go out very late at night, they'll do a big meal. Lamb's very big there, and beef, actually. Chicken, pasta dishes that are very popular over there. Salads. Typical Greek salad won't have lettuce because they can't get lettuce there usually, so it'd be like tomato, cucumber, onion, feta cheese, olives.
Gary, tell me a little bit about your background. Now, I know you're the theater director at St. Mary's University.
Right.
Okay.
Right. From Newport, Rhode Island.
Uh-huh.
Grew up in a restaurant. Basically, family had a diner that was built in 1939. It was in the 1939 World's Fair in New York.
Really?
Yeah, it's called Tommy's Deluxe Diner. So from like third grade on, I worked there. Pretty much. So I learned some cooking there. A lot of the cooking I pretty much learned from watching my mother and grandmother cook. Both my parents were born in the States here, but all four grandparents were born in Greece.
Now, are there some specific ingredients that would be typical to Greece?
Yeah, a lot of Greek cooking. Obviously, olive oil, lemons, onions, oregano, garlic, salt, pepper.
Mm-hmm. Well, Gary, what are we going to start with today?
We're going to make some crostini for the hors d'oeuvres that we're going to do. We'll have a variety of hors d'oeuvres. In Greece, we call that a mezza, or a mezza plate. You can sometimes get that as a first course, or very typical going to a tavern and just ordering a mezza plate. It'll be a variety of different hors d'oeuvres.
Okay,
Right.
what do we do?
Okay, first we're going to cut the bread.
Now, you are cutting it elongated rather than...
Just to get them smaller pieces.
Okay, good idea. Now, where did you get your bread?
Blue Heron Coffee House.
all
Larry
right.
made it today.
Okay, so all you're doing now basically is just taking the pieces of bread and putting olive oil on.
Right.
Right. What kind of olive oil do the Greeks use?
I like to use extra virgin. It just tastes a lot better. And that's from the first press.
Boy, this olive oil looks really olivey. It's very greenish.
Greenish. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the extra virgin.
So first we'll toast these, and
Right.
then we'll prepare the
The
toppings.
toppings, yeah.
Okay. Well, the crostini is done. We pulled it out of the oven. It's been in the oven for about 15 minutes. It's nice and hard.
Yep.
And now you're going to make the ingredients for the top. But I'll tell you, all these ingredients to me are just totally overwhelming. So you're going to have to take it over and explain what all these are and what you're
will.
making. I understand you're making 3 spreads out of all
3
this.
spreads plus
Okay.
some other picky things that we'll do.
All right. Well, what do we have?
All right, first spread is a feta cheese spread. What I did was take some feta cheese, throw it in a food processor, and then slowly added heavy whipping cream to it. It's just delicious. I'll spread that on and garnish it in a minute with either parsley or a little tomato maybe on top of it, or you could do it with a bit of the, this is an olive spread. And you could put a little dab of that on top of that, or actually spread this on the crostini too, which is really good. The other spread that I'm going to do is taramasalata, which is a fish caviar. This is an eggplant puree. Again, you can roast your own eggplant and take the skins off and puree it, and then add some. I'm going to mix some more things into this in a second. Or you could buy it in a jar. Yeah, it's a roasted eggplant puree.
Where do you get all these ingredients?
There's a Near East Market in Rochester, actually, near the Civic Center. World Market. I believe I got that one at World Market. And then I get a lot of ingredients up at Bill's Imports on Lake in Lindale, up in the Twin Cities.
Okay.
So those are the places you can find. The Co-op here also has some of this.
Good. Oh, that's
Stuff
good
too.
news.
Yeah, so you can get it locally too. With the eggplant, what you want to do is add some olive oil, mince up some garlic. You may know this as baba ganoush.
Oh, that's what it's called, baba
Yeah,
ganoush.
Baba ganoush.
Okay.
A little bit of pepper, some salt, and just a touch of some white wine vinegar. And then, give me that. We'll mix all this together. We'll also have for hors d'oeuvres this Carcetti cheese. It's a table cheese. Also some Kalamata olives. Also, we'll slice up some roasted red pepper.
Oh, these peppers look beautiful. And this just came in a jar too, didn't it?
Yep. Or you could roast your own peppers, either way. This is called lukaniko. It's a Greek sausage. It has orange rind in it.
Okay.
And what we're going to do is slice that up and fry it, and then you squeeze lemon on top of it.
Oh, these are really some different tastes.
Yeah, and then...
The ingredients were all Greek to me, but the tastes I discovered were delicious. We spent a fair amount of time putting the spreads on the crostini. The feta cheese spread, which Gary made with a crumbled block of feta cheese mixed with whipping cream. The caviar spread, which came from a jar and was truly delicious. The baba ganoush, also delicious, and the chopped olive spread. We garnished them like Christmas cookies and spread them around the Garcetti cheese. Here. Gary fried the sausage with lemon, and we added the red pepper and Kalamata olives. The finished product was a beautiful mezza plate, which truly could be a meal in itself. One very unique Greek appetizer added on the mezza plate was stuffed grape leaves, which Gary teaches us how to make.
We're going to make stuffed grape leaves. You could do this as an appetizer, or it could be a hot dish too with egg lemon sauce on it. What we're going to do is we're going to serve it cold as part of the hors d'oeuvres. First thing you do is get about 1.5 pounds of hamburger, or you could use ground lamb. Throw a half a handful of rice in it.
Cooked rice?
Nope,
Or
raw
uncooked?
rice.
Okay.
Chop some parsley, and about a large chopped onion, salt, pepper, a small can of tomato sauce. Mix it all up, and that becomes your stuffing. With the grape leaves, you can buy them in jars, or if you actually have grapevines, you can pick them, parboil them, and it'll be the same thing. If you buy them in the jars, they're in brine, so what you really want to do is wash these out and get all the brine off. And you want to cut the stem off, just the little piece that hangs down, and you have the veins facing up. Just take a spoonful, place it there, and then to roll it, just flip that up and just roll it.
Well, I love this. To me, this is like recycling. You know, you have you harvest the fruit generally, but generally never eat the leaves. And here, we can eat the leaves.
It's kind of therapeutic, too.
We finished stuffing the grape leaves, piled them in a pan, and covered them with 2 cans of beef broth and 1 stick of butter. We let them boil for 30 minutes. This is an absolutely beautiful plate of hors d'oeuvres.
Yeah, it'll be great.
Now,
Great with drink cocktails.
Oh,
Something
yes.
to pick at, you know.
What did you call this plate?
A mezza plate.
It is so beautiful. It really is. We've got the cheese
Cassetti cheese.
and the crostinis with all the different toppings. Some of the grape leaves that we put together with the sausage.
The Lucanico sausage.
And what did you call this?
Lucanico.
Lucanico. I had to
Lucanico.
snitch
Try
one
one,
with
yeah.
the orange rind. Oh, fabulous.
It's
Oh.
great with fried eggs in the morning, too.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
You Greeks are good cooks.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we're now ready for the first course for the day, and this is going to be a lemon chicken soup, and you have some very interesting looking ingredients. What do you all have for this recipe?
Okay, this is called avgolemano, which is egg lemon soup, and it's a chicken-based soup. We have olive oil, onions, and garlic that we'll saute first. Then we'll add skinless chicken, parsley, orzo, which is a
This is
pasta in the shape of rice. It's not rice, but it's a pasta, and it'll get pretty big, actually. So that'll be a good base for the soup. 2 cans of chicken broth. We'll use 4 eggs and the juice of 1 lemon, because that's added much later to the soup. So the first thing we do is put olive oil in.
Yeah, you put quite a bit in there, don't you?
Yeah.
It's about 1/4 of a cup.
About
Okay. Gary sauteed a large onion in the olive oil and then added 4 cut-up chicken breasts, which he had added salt and pepper to. He browned them and then added the garlic.
garlic in.
Oh, that's a lot of garlic. The smells are incredible in this house right now. When the chicken was cooked, he removed it to a plate and added 2 large cans of chicken broth, 1 cup of orzo, and 1/2 cup of parsley. He sprinkled salt and pepper to the broth and brought it to a boil, and then let it steep until the orzo was soft and absorbed by the broth. In the meantime, we had cut up the chicken and placed it in the bottom of the soup bowls. Now the soup's been cooking for a bit. And
Right, so the soup's done. Now we're going to make the egg lemon sauce. And what you do is separate the yolk and the white from 4 eggs. And then we're going to whip up the whites till they get really fluffy. I'm going to beat the yolks. Then take a little bit of the broth and put it in with the yolks. Then mix it all together, and then we put that into the soup. We put some chicken at the bottom of the soup bowls, and we'll just ladle that on top.
Okay, well let's
So-
see how it's done.
So let's get that going. And we also add about 1.5 lemons to it too. Some of this broth. Then we're going to pour this slowly into the whites.
Oh, it looks beautiful.
Now, this is the tricky part. Come here. You have to do this. As you pour it in, I was taught by my grandmother, so it doesn't curdle, you have to do this.
All
Watch,
right.
you gotta go.
Oh, I have to do that?
Yep.
Okay. Can it be disconnected?
Yep.
Come on, get in
That's
there.
it. That prevents it from curdling. Keep going.
It's not curdling.
No.
Keep it up. You do it.
I had an aunt that said, you gotta do this all the time, you know. She gave some grease. So she talks funny like this. Then what you do, mix it up.
There's the chicken in the bowl waiting for it. Oh, this looks wonderful. Yes. Ooh.
And just top it off with a little grind of black pepper.
A little bit of black pepper, and how about a nice taste? Wow, Gary, that is awesome. Just awesome.
Joyce, we're ready to make the salad now. What I've already done is chop up some romaine lettuce. That's what I like to use in the Greek salad. The next ingredient I usually chop, and I've chopped already, are scallions, so it's a bunch of scallions. I also like to include mushrooms. Again, any type of tomato. These are grape tomatoes, which are lovely to put in. Kalamata olives, the black Greek olives. I like green pepper.
So these are kind of basic Greek cooking ingredients.
Yeah, so you can use them for a lot of different things. Then the other thing I use is cucumber, which I've just peeled.
How often do you cook Greek food?
For myself.
Yeah.
Every once in a while. I'll do it if I have company, is when I'll cook a lot of. If you take a fork, you just dig in.
Okay.
Go around the cucumber that way.
Cucumber is very good for the skin, too.
Yeah. You know what my grandmother used to do? Take the end of it.
Oh.
And put it on your... Doesn't that feel good?
Yeah, it does.
So we used to sit there with cucumbers
having a
stuck
hot
on our
flash.
foreheads like that. I know, it's like...
Good for a hot flash.
Then when you cut them, they get a little
Oh,
design
pretty.
on them.
Yes, and then they kind of open up, too, as
Yeah.
they sit in there. Okay. And I think you're going to ask for the feta cheese next.
Feta cheese is next.
This is the best part of a Greek salad.
Right. And with the feta, just cut a chunk out. And again, as opposed to the store-bought feta, if you go to like Bill's Market import, you can get the imported feta Greek cheese. It's just a world of difference.
Is that what this is?
And then for seasoning, I never measure my seasoning, but I'll start like on this end, go across, back, and back over. Like I'll use garlic powder. Basically do the same thing. Black pepper, coarse pepper. Dry oregano.
Ah.
That's a key ingredient to the Greek salad. Is the
Oh,
dry
it is.
oregano. So a combination of that and the feta
Uh-huh.
and the olive oil is what really makes it. Just before we're going to serve, we'll add red wine vinegar and the extra virgin olive oil. Then mix it up, taste it, and see if you need to add any more salt or olive oil or vinegar. Go light on the vinegar at first. You can always add.
Now we're ready for the main course.
Right.
Okay.
Greek chicken and roast potatoes. And then we'll do steamed broccoli. For the vegetable, and with the broccoli, we'll just squeeze some lemon and olive oil on that. And that's it. So it's,
All
so
right.
It'll be good.
Sounds wonderful.
And here's where those key ingredients come in again. Lemon, olive oil, fresh garlic or garlic powder, salt, pepper, and dried oregano, and onions.
And the chicken, of course.
I just do them in chunks because I'm going to roast those with the potatoes, so I just throw them in with the potatoes.
So you need a couple good roasting pans for this dish.
Again, depending how many you're cooking for, you can do it in one.
I like the way you cut your potatoes, kind of the long way. It looks like canoes.
Right. So you cut them in, quarter them pretty much.
You like to use the big chunks of the garlic and
Yeah, for this one I do, yeah. So I'll split it with chicken, some of the potatoes. Then what you do is squeeze lemon all over it first.
Okay. It's about a whole lemon on the chicken.
Yeah.
You've got 10 pieces of chicken breast in here?
10 pieces here, yeah. Do the same thing with the potatoes. So it's the same ingredients are basically going in both. And then what we'll also do is get a bowl of olive oil, squeeze a lemon in that, and the dry oregano. And as the chicken's cooking, you baste it with that. Next thing I usually do will be salt, pepper, and I just lightly cover.
Trust me? Okay. Good.
Even a little more.
A little bit
Be
more?
good, yeah. Excellent. Olive oil.
Oh.
A lot of
That's
olive
enough.
oil.
That'll be enough.
And then the dry oregano.
Okay, dry oregano.
Would also do some garlic powder.
Okay. I'm beginning to feel I'm in Greece.
I'm going to do the exact same thing with the potatoes.
Okay.
So we squeeze lemon on here, potatoes and onions, put some olive oil, lots of it, salt, and I like to use the coarse pepper as opposed to the fine.
Of course.
Of course. Ba-dum-bum.
It was a joke.
It's a good joke.
Of course. All right.
So it's the same ingredients in both. I washed my hands, Joyce. I'm going to use my hands.
Okay,
You
I'll
could use
trust
a spoon
you.
if you
I'll
want.
use a
Okay.
spoon.
Just mix it all together. So everything gets coated.
I think you have the easy job there.
Yeah,
I think you're going to have to go back through this with your hands.
I can do that.
Here you go. It's all yours. This looks like a beautiful dish. I bet it's going to be delicious.
Yeah, these are my favorite potatoes, actually. I can make a meal just out of the
Are
potatoes.
these Yukon Golds?
These are Yukon Golds,
Okay.
yeah.
Those are really the best for baking, aren't
Yeah, I love them.
they? And great for mashed potatoes, too. There's just a little hint of a sweetness in them.
Yep.
Now, these go in the oven for how long? At what degrees?
I usually do 375, and I would say maybe an hour and 15, an hour and a half.
Do we cover them?
Nope, just like this.
Okay.
Then just keep checking it,
Okay.
and then
In the oven they go. Well, we're at the final course, the dessert. And
Yum.
this looks yummy, right? Now, I know you didn't make this, but you're going to
No.
describe what it is.
Yep. This is baklava, and Colleen down at the Blue Heron made it, and she makes the best baklava around. I mean, like the best was my mother's, and her recipe is so close. It's delicious. Yeah.
We are so gifted to have her in this town as a cook.
My God, yeah. And it's made with phyllo dough, chopped nuts. There's some cinnamon in there. Cinnamon's another important spice that they use in Greece quite a bit. Our tomato sauce for spaghetti will put cinnamon sticks in it.
Really?
Too. Yeah, it gives it a really neat flavor. The sauce that goes on top of this is a syrup that she makes, part sugar, part water, equal parts. Then she adds lemon to that, and then honey in the final process, and pours it all over it. So it's a really sweet dessert. A lot of the desserts in Greece are very sweet, too. I think that's why they have that thick Turkish coffee that they drink with it, Greek coffee. And then I made this rice pudding is another Greek dish. We serve this in the diner a lot, too. It's a very popular dessert at the diner. And that's very easy to make. You take a half a gallon of milk, a cup of rice, and put it on the stove. Add 8 tablespoons of sugar. And you just got to constantly watch it. and as it gets thicker and thicker and thicker. When it's just about done and pretty thick and the rice is cooked, you take a separate bowl and beat 2 eggs, 5 tablespoons of sugar, and 2 teaspoons of vanilla.
You don't
So you
know
beat
how my
all
mouth
that.
is watering.
Yeah, you beat all that together, and then you slowly dump the egg mixture into the pudding and stir it. Just very slowly. Mix it up, then pour a little bit more. Don't just dump it in. You want to make sure the rice has been off the burner for a little bit, so it's not piping hot. And then you just add cinnamon on top. And you can pour it in individual dessert dishes and put the cinnamon on if you want, or serve it out of a bowl like this. So
Well,
it's pretty simple.
It looks beautiful. Well, we've prepared a lot of things now, so let's go take a look at everything we prepared and kind of mull it over a little bit and figure out exactly what we did.
Okay, great.
Well, Gary, you have really prepared a feast for us.
I hope you're hungry.
Oh, yeah, I am starving after cooking all day.
I know.
And this feast is fabulous. You've made appetizers for us. You made the first course, which is the soup, and this beautiful Greek salad, a little broccoli, and the chicken and potatoes, which looks wonderful. And then voila, the
Dessert.
wonderful dessert. Well, tell me what it's like for you to cook all this fabulous Greek cooking from your home.
It's my way of relaxing, actually.
Is it?
Yep, so I love it.
Uh-huh.
I like to experiment, too, and try different things
Great. Well,
with it. Yeah.
you really have brought us some interesting, different cooking ideas for the Heartland.
Good.
All right, and thank you so much.
And thank you, Joyce.
And thank you for joining us today for this fabulous Greek cooking feast. Please join me again next week. Until then, enjoy the spirit of the Heartland.